resistance.
What's up, everyone? This is Tim Man with the Resistance. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance. It's just me and good old Grandmaster Evan today. I'm going to talk about this rape political hearing bullshit, as well as Facebook founders and whatnot leaving Facebook for various data mining reasons, and probably a few other things. So, Grandmaster Evan, why don't you go ahead and start it?
Yeah, there was a big old scoop on the Kavanaugh court hearing that there was. I mean, you could tell from from the beginning that it was a big old con job, railroad bullshit. Um, just outright a railroad. The guy didn't do anything. I mean, the guy was a 12-year federal judge on the Court of Appeals, and this is a straight out character assassination to go after Trump through Kavanaugh and stuff.
I've been reading a lot that it's a Democratic ploy to try to keep that fucking seat open so that the Democrats can get it next election.
Big time. Oh, hell yeah. But they got a pretty good prosecutor to question the doc. I mean, she asked all the right questions, and she got really far, and you could tell on the face of the doc and her lawyers that the prosecutor lady from Mecklenburg County, Arizona, was getting really close to just shred them with the questions and shit.
Yeah.
And so one of the lawyers says, because the prosecutor was asking if she knew who paid for her lie detector test, her polygraph, and I mean, write down drilling questions after drilling question after a drilling question. Her lawyer says, we do pro bono. So that was like, you know that they did it. I mean, it's
there was obviously money involved.
Yeah, Sheila Jackson snuckily thought no one was looking. She had an envelope of cash to the attorney of Ford, and okay, what's this shit? Somebody might have seen the Sopranos and shit. Hell.
Yeah.
And she did. She had an envelope full of cash and that sinister handshake and shit. I mean, it was straight up. I mean, and then nobody on the left saw it coming. Judge came back fighting. This guy, he had detailed budget. I mean, hey, he had a calendar for everything. You know, he had activities. He was at the top of his class. He played football, basketball. He coached his daughter's team. I mean, at the time, the age was 18 before I went to 21, and so it was kind of like they paid more attention to his yearbook than anything else.
What was in his yearbook?
Yeah, oh hell yeah!
What was in his yearbook?
They went after the writings that was in the yearbook that was posted on there about him being this being a like you know how people are when they end up doing some dumb shit to the yearbook before release and stuff. Like this person did this and or she used too much hairspray on her hair, and this guy used so much a mustard on his hot dog, whatever it is, and so just some goofy shit, and
So there was
and
just
they
goofy
took it
shit in the
as
yearbook.
evidence. They took it as evidence, and I'm sitting there like, I got shit in my yearbook of people that are there's some goofy shit that's supposed to buy them, but that's nothing.
Okay.
People have written shit in yearbooks and stuff, and some crazy shit, some funny goofy crazy shit in the yearbook, nothing criminal shit. I mean,
Well, I heard
it
there's
was
like
odd.
I heard that she can't recall most of the details other than that he just showed her his dick at a party. That she can't
That
remember any
one,
other details, and that there are three
that
people
one
making
was
out
kind
in
of
public.
fishy because, oh yeah, that's kind of fishy. But the thing is, she says, well, it could have been him, might be him. I don't know. I was drunk.
Okay. So she's not exactly sure, but she's trying to pin it on him, which he's not even
Yeah,
100%.
that's the second accuser who said that. Now, if you consume enough alcohol where you're either schlitz, bomb, hammered, drunk, just your memory will be hazy and your body will be like, you'll be bringing the walls and shit, man. I've been drunk before.
Yeah, I think we've all been drunk, you know. But,
Oh hell yeah! And another time where I got drunk so damn, I was so damn hammered, I had to crawl to the front door in the car. I was that drunk. And the next morning, I couldn't remember a damn thing. I had a hangover from hell. But
yeah.
the second accuser was all. I mean, there's also evidence of the second accuser threatening her ex, his woman, and his kid.
Really? Say what?
Now, uh, this didn't say anything. Just threatened. Just threatened.
Okay, but
Um,
what was said that was so threatening? Okay, you can't have a threat unless there was a specific kind of threat. Were there death threats? Were there threats,
it was a
political
death threat. It
threats?
was a death threat. And what was said, I've looked at the article at least 2 3 times. The no de- no there's a threat, but I didn't say what kind of threat in the article. But
Okay, just that threats were made, but no details were
yeah,
given.
but the one thing that does bug me about this is that the second accuser went back to every party, at least 10 of them, at least 10 of them.
Okay,
And the third accuser, there is no third accuser. Now, check this out. The lawyer for Summer Daniels was scammed. He was like totally trolled by 4chan. And the third accuser is a charade. It is there's no third uh, uh, accuser. Now, the girlfriend of a guy who goes on 4chan quite a bit called the attorney and says, "Well, I'm so and so. I'm this age. I knew Bert Kavanaugh back in the day, and he did this, that, and other stuff, and the whole gangbang crap." And the lawyer ended up like a fat guy at a pasta fat harvest or whatever it is.
wow.
And this guy, he said, "Well, my the third kid is my client, and yada yada yada. I'm an idiot, ha ha." for me, um, I mean, this guy ate it up like a fat guy eating 1,000 pound of ice cream and shit, you know. And he got totally trolled, man. Like, then he had to set his Twitter account to protect it and shit. I mean, this guy was out for more fame and shit.
Yeah.
And what was funny, he went on to Tucker Carlson's program with a stipulation that he's not called he's not called the creepy porn lawyer.
Yeah.
And it was funny because Tucker Carlson had the creepy porn lawyer live on Tucker. I
Wow.
mean, this guy was out just for more fame and glory, man. I mean, come on. If you're a lawyer for a porn star who career is taking up the ass and suck a dick for a living, holy shit. You're I mean, you're thinking, well, maybe it should be my ticket. Oh, go fuck yourself. You fuck. I mean,
Ride somebody else's wave.
yeah. So, I mean,
I wouldn't say that, a porn star's credibility is worth less than anybody else's. Just because you choose a particular profession doesn't mean something bad can't happen to you.
yeah,
Or just because you're part of the Democratic Party or part of associated with this person or that person doesn't mean that something bad can't happen to you.
yeah.
I mean, anybody's susceptible to something bad happening to them, regardless of their career choice or their background or
There,
their
there
affiliations.
is audio of her one attorney plotting since July to destroy Britt Kavanaugh. She plotted since July. She's also a friend of Hillary Clinton
Yeah, but yet
and
nobody's
stuff.
going after
And
Clinton. Nobody's going after the Clintons.
no,
Though when I
no.
hear they're looking to maybe abolish the statute of limitations on rape cases, which I'm sure probably makes the Clintons very nervous.
Well, hell yeah, because of what Bill Clinton did.
So, yeah,
This guy should be in prison. I mean, he sexually assaulted. He raped women. I mean, the guy should be registered as a sex offender to begin with. I mean, look at Joe Biden. That could be fucked, you know. And it goes pretty far back, you know. You got the Vatican. You got whole entire. You got some DC politician bureaucrats and shit. You got fucking uh, Hollywood, DC, get the Vatican and shit.
yeah. I mean, the pedophile rings stem into most every aspect of politics and media, in particular. But one thing that has been coming up a lot lately that I have been paying attention to is who should be believed over who in such circumstances. I mean, we're quick to jump the gun on the Clintons. That could be argued because we oppose Democrats, but yet we're supporting
Oh yeah,
this guy who could just as easily be a rapist because he's Republican. And I'm not saying I support this guy or I don't. I want
no,
to I want to know exactly where the evidence leads, and I'll accept whatever the ruling is on that based on the available evidence.
hell yeah,
But what seems to be the question is the whole aspect of guilty before proven innocent. Where the term rape is thrown around, everybody is quick to say that the accused party is automatically guilty just because of the nature of the allegation. Now, isn't it supposed to be due process, innocent until proven guilty?
Yes,
However,
there is.
in society, you're automatically labeled as guilty. Even if you're found innocent, that's something that's going to taint your reputation for the rest of your life. You were accused of this crime.
Oh,
Even if you
yeah.
are acquitted
Oh, yeah.
and proven innocent, that's something that will tail that person for the rest of their lives. And it is far too easy, and we've seen many, many cases of this, where people have made false rape claims and gotten a successful conviction only to be proven or admit later that it was not the case, that they were never in fact raped, and that person's life had been ruined.
Yeah,
In most cases,
there
lost
was
many
there was
years of their life because of somebody else's lie.
a lady that was accused somebody of raping her and this year and found out that she lied. And I'm sitting here reading the article and reading everything about it. And I'm sitting here like, man, this woman gives real victims a bad name.
Yeah, it makes it harder on legitimate victims to come forward because of fear that they might not be believed. And in any case, it does ruin the accused party's life, especially if they are innocent. You know, you're wrongfully accusing somebody of a crime that they didn't commit. You are ruining that person's life
Yeah.
for nothing. Now, if they're guilty, that's another story. But if they are innocent, their life is already ruined before it even gets inside the courtroom.
Oh
Before
yeah.
those cuffs are even slapped on your fucking wrists. Your life is ruined because of an accusation. So it
Well,
definitely,
it's like my I've been questioning all this week, last 2 3 days,
yeah,
that what if she didn't what if she wasn't a victim but was paid to lie, to lie about being one. And I mean, trying to know this guy's name because he was nominated by the president in July.
and that is a very distinct possibility. At which point, this
Now,
man's reputation
now,
is tarnished, even if he's found innocent. Now, the biggest problem we have here is, oh well, the victim should be believed. The victim should be believed no matter what. Okay, that's a double-edged side here. That's a double-edged coin. Because if you have somebody who's wrongfully accusing somebody of a crime that they didn't commit, that person being accused is the victim. So, at which point, you need people as a whole need to take a step back and remember that there's two sides to every coin, and that the door can and often does swing both ways. And that you need to base your opinion on the available evidence. Give benefit of the doubt to both parties
you
and see
you
where the
have to
evidence lies.
you have to hear both sides, not just
Yeah,
one. And the Democrats wanted it to be one sided. Well, I'm sorry. Both sides have to be heard
yeah,
to.
both sides have to be heard, and the evidence
Uh,
and a and the
if the evidence,
the
if there's evidence, which, to be honest, the woman could remember the day any two, where in '82, and I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
how? I mean, I haven't been in high school in 23 years. Okay, I don't remember what I did in high school. Okay, I didn't play baseball. I didn't join any track team. I didn't join any clique club, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was a guy that was a I was a pothead,
Okay. But
but
still, if something horrific happened to you, like you were sexually assaulted or hurt in a horrific manner, you're not going to forget the date of that incident.
no.
I
But
mean, if something
but
profound,
she
positive
she
or negative,
couldn't come
happens
up
in
with
your
a
life, you're
date.
not going to forget that date.
Yeah, she couldn't name a date in '82. Um, she kept saying, well, it was in the mid '80s, then in the or early '80s. I mean, come on, was it in early '80s or mid
Well, I
'80s?
mean, even if you
Because
can't remember the specific date, you should be able to at least
yeah,
remember the year, at the least.
I was questioning the timeline because what the prosecutor got was it was in the mid '80s, not the early '80s. Because for Kavanaugh in the mid '80s, he was in college.
Yeah,
He was in college. Early '80s, he was in high school.
yeah,
From '78 to '82, um, and stuff. So
yeah. You know what years you were in, what type of school or what grade
yeah,
you were in.
yeah. And she says she was assaulted by Kavanaugh and his friend, and she went to these parties and she named people off. They said, "Hey, look, we weren't there." Even her friend said, "We don't know Kavanaugh. We never know a guy. Never part of the guy."
Okay. Well, what was he
And
accused of? Just showing his dick? Did he sexually? Did he touch her? Did he rape her? What happened? I've been hearing
that's a good
several different
question.
stories.
That's a good question. The second accuser, she says, "Well, it could have been him. It might be him. I don't know. I was drunk."
Okay. Is this a
I mean,
case of? Is this a case of Coyote Ugly? You did something stupid when you were drunk, or was this you were forced
it
against your will at a
it
party and were drunk?
when I heard
These
that,
are
I was
details
like,
that need to be known.
I was, I was sitting here listening. I'm like, she said, "What?" It might be him. It could be him, or it might be him. I don't know. I was drunk.
Okay.
You're not going. You're not going to. Even when you're getting drunk, your memory is very hazy. You're not going to remember very much because when you consume enough alcohol where your memory is hazy, you're not going to know who put their balls in your face.
Okay.
I mean, it is. I mean, these accusations are coming into question.
And at which point it has to be questioned whether or not she reciprocated that, or whether it was forced on her, or did she, did he just whip his dick out and stick it in her face, or did she fucking unzip his fly and start sucking his dick? What actually happened? If she can't give specific details as to what happened and who did it, you have no
Oh hell
accusation to make.
yeah!
There's no
If
accusation to be made. You can't say that somebody did something to you if you can't give the details of what happened to you. If you don't even know what happened to you,
there
how can
were
you honestly
oh
say
hell
that
yeah,
something bad happened to you?
there were
I'm not
oh hell
saying that
yeah,
something didn't. So that's something. I'm not saying that something bad didn't happen. I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I'm saying is, if you don't know that something happened, how could you say that something did happen if you don't know?
There's victims throughout the years who were sexually assaulted, who were raped. They remember what happened, and they never forget.
Yeah,
They don't forget.
yeah, you
They
can't
know
forget
what
something like
date, they
that.
know where, and they know when. But Dr. Ford, oh man, she couldn't name off a date in '82.
Well, that offers some very that that makes her case very subjective. It doesn't make it very credible on her part.
No, no.
Okay, if she
And
was
then,
raped, it's
and
not
then
helping her case. If she
oh
was
yeah,
sexually assaulted or flashed, then that's not helping her case. But another fact variable that's being brought up here is, you know, stupid shit happens at college parties. You know, going to these college parties, that stupid shit's gonna happen. And whether you go one time or repeatedly, you don't go into these parties naive thinking, oh, it's just going to be this little social thing. We're going to have a few drinks and nothing stupid's going to happen. Okay, you go to these college parties expecting stupid shit to happen. You expect to go to get laid. You expect to fucking
oh,
have the equivocal Animal House scenario. That's why you go to those college frat parties. That's why you go. And to argue that you were naive to the fact can only get you so far. But if you're going repeatedly, no, not buying it.
even if you go just have a couple of beers minimum. I mean, if I would have gone, I would have at least have at least two beers, two, 3 beers.
Yeah, but you know
Um,
what happens at college frat
oh
parties.
hell yeah,
You know, okay. You know, even if you've never been to a college frat party, you know what happens at a college frat party.
oh hell
Okay,
yeah.
it's common knowledge. You'd have to be a fucking idiot to argue
It is it is
to the
a
contrary.
huge common knowledge,
Yeah, you
and
know they play
these
games like
these parties can go crazy. But
yeah.
I mean, the question is, what kind of party is it? Is it a stag party, toga party? Is it a end of the year party for the seniors and shit? I mean,
Well, even so, you know crazy shit's gonna happen. You know
oh
party
hell
games
yeah,
are gonna be
oh
played.
hell yeah,
It's not just gonna be fucking beer pong. Okay, you're gonna have silly games like spin the bottle or truth or dare or
a
3
quarter,
minutes in the closet, whatever the term is nowadays.
a
Okay, you're
quarter.
gonna have games like that. Okay, and you're gonna have people who are gonna get drunk and run down the fucking stairs naked, or they're gonna fucking flash their titties like at Mardi Gras or
Oh yeah,
freaking spring break. Okay, that's just how it goes. Okay, you go to those
oh yeah.
parties, you accept that these things are not just a possibility, but an almost certainty. So if you're going to these parties, you can't scream being sexually assaulted because you knew going into this situation what the situation would entail.
Oh hell
And if you're
yeah.
going back multiple times, you can't make that argument because you are willingly subjecting yourself to that. The
Oh
I
hell yeah.
didn't know argument can only get you so far. Yeah, maybe on a fluke you didn't know what a freaking college party was going to be like. Maybe on a fluke.
And
And
these senators,
that's a far
these senators,
cry. That is a
oh hell
far
yeah.
cry.
These senators act like they've never been to a frat party and whatnot. Even the older ones, like, well, I don't believe in that the triangle game is the drinking game. I don't believe it. I don't, motherfucker. You went to college.
Yeah, you know what these parties entail. You know in high school what these parties entail.
I mean, you went to a Christian party in high school, college, and even after college. You went to, I mean, you had a party, but after a while, um, I mean, it makes the victims look bad, the ones that that are victims, and do remember when on this date, on this year.
Yeah, what happened to the T when it happened to the T. Yeah. Granted, there may be some skewed details, but for the most part, you know what happened, you know who did it, and you know when it happened.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah,
the girl can be just out of it, vomiting from having too much to drink. She passed out on the floor. Some dumb shit has the balls to be a fucking idiot and rape the woman, saying, "Well, I had a good time."
Well, that's
Dude,
not acceptable.
there was a Stanford diver who found a woman passed out behind a dumpster, thinking, "Whoa, I'm gonna have about 2 minutes of fun." Oh, dude, this girl was raped big time,
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And
and
at which point, if you
and
have no recollection
his
of the event
dad, his
and you turn
dad
up
wrote a letter to
pregnant
the
or something,
judge. His dad wrote a letter to the judge saying, "Please don't let my son go to prison. It'll ruin his life." Well, motherfucker, your son is a dumb motherfucker.
yeah, at
If
which
a
point
woman
he
comes
is
up with a
guilty.
doctor, you get help. You
Yeah,
get
if
help.
he
You
did something like that and there is evidence to
call an
support that he
ambulance,
did
man.
something like that,
Oh hell yeah.
yeah, he
Call
deserves
an
whatever he
ambulance.
gets. Yeah.
Call an ambulance. Um, Call 911, man.
Yeah.
If the woman picks up on dumpster, you call 911. You ask for an ambulance because there's a woman here who's passed up behind a dumpster. She may, um, I mean, call an ambulance, man.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of putting your dick in her face, whatever, call an ambulance. Call 911.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there thinking like, well, something that I didn't get laid last night, I can get laid now. Oh, go fuck yourself, you fucking pervert.
No, that's just sick. That's just sick. But here's where the double-edged coin comes into play here.
Oh hell yeah,
People
dude!
at
Like what the
college
hell?
parties, they hook up.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you get the whole coyote ugly thing. You know, you hooked up with somebody at a party, you wake up in bed with them like, what the fuck did I do? And then all of a sudden we're screaming rape because of something stupid that happened the night before. And it's argued on the case of the alleged victim that they were drunk and taken undue advantage of. They were in their faculties. They had no control over what happened. But yet, if you get behind the wheel of a car, you're within your faculties and you're in control of what happens. And pray to whatever God you believe in that you didn't kill somebody in the process. Okay, it's very much a double standard when alcohol and rape are thrown in together in this instance. It is very much a double standard, and oftentimes innocent people go down because somebody regrets a stupid decision that they did the night before.
There was a case in the mid '80s where parents were accused of molesting their sons in the early '80s, and law enforcement didn't do anything but kept railroading his parents. And the parents spent nearly 10 years in prison for a crime that they were
Yeah, keep
accused
talking. I
of,
gotta make
which
sure
they didn't
Patrick's up.
commit.
Keep talking.
Okay, and it took nearly 11 years for the parents to get out of prison. Uh, the boys were raised by their grandparents until the older brother went to the military. after a while, they started to question: did the parents really do it?
Yeah.
And so the DA that did the prosecuting said, "Well, I'm sure he did it."
Okay, well, what evidence
So
do you have that he did it?
so the grandfather died. The grandmother raised the boys herself until age, and then she passed away. Mom and dad got a new trial, and they ended up suing the DA, the police department, everything, the whole city, and because they were falsely accused of a crime that
Never happened.
that never happened. And then there was another case in the early to mid '80s where this this detective accused people of a church of having a satanic sexual orgy with children at a church, and he stuck to a story that there's a six orgy cut as church, and there never was.
Yeah.
There never
I
was.
remember reading that article.
And there was there are parents that were accused that are still in prison today.
Yeah.
5 died in prison. And it was like, and also the prosecution hid the evidence. They hid evidence from the defense part, the defense, and these families were railroaded and shit.
Yeah. And that's often what happens. People, when the rape word comes into play, the accused party generally gets railroaded. Whether they're guilty or not, they get railroaded. They're automatically guilty before they even get slapped with the cuffs.
This would be the 7th FBI investigation, and there's already 6 on the judge since '93.
Yeah.
FBI found nothing. They don't do conclusions. They do the report, they investigate, and they hand it to the committee or the president.
Yeah.
And Judge Kavanaugh says, "Hey, the FBI doesn't do conclusions. They investigate,
And they
and they
give
hand
their
over.
findings over to the appropriate party.
Yeah, but they can actually, well, we need a FBI investigation. No, you do not. All you're doing is continuously murdering this guy who is accused of a crime that there's no proof of."
Yeah.
The one thing that does piss me off is that
Yeah. And why is
this
this a hearing regarding his seat rather than a criminal proceeding?
Yeah, it's not even.
Why did she
It's
pursue a
not
criminal
federal.
proceeding?
If it happened, it's local police department jurisdiction, not the FBI. It ain't federal.
Oh, well, even if he is part of a governing judicial body, you know, this whole thing is based solely on whether or not he gets that seat. This has nothing to do with getting a conviction or him doing time in prison or anything. He's not going to have to pay a fine or get a criminal record or go to prison or any of that. This is not a judicial proceeding. And at which point, if this is a rape case, why is it not being taken to a legal precedent instead of a hearing as to whether or not he's going to get a seat in this governing body?
If you're a victim of a sex crime, It happened nearly 40 years ago.
Yeah, you don't try to deny them a fucking seat on government. You
I
try to
don't know.
fucking nail him to the fucking wall. It's like, no, this motherfucker goes to fucking prison.
If you're a
This
victim,
this guy goes to fucking prison and goes, no, mama, I'm bilingual. There's a difference. No more grilled cheese.
hell yeah. I mean, if you're a victim of rape or sexual assault and you cannot remember the date it happened or where or if who was there, who seen it, or took part of it, I mean, there was people that are named that say, look, I mean, under the felony of perjury of law, they say, hey, look, we weren't there.
Yeah.
We weren't there. And they kept asking, well, what do you name this guy? What do you interview this guy? Look, the guy under felony of perjury said, and this never happened. Whatever it was, I wasn't there. It never happened. I mean, even 65 women said, hey, look, he ain't this kind of guy. He didn't do it. She's full of shit.
Yeah, if you got that many people saying, no, I was not there.
And she says, well,
or this didn't happen this way, or didn't happen at all. Yeah, kind of majority rule at that point.
When the prosecutor started to get down to the core, that's when the one attorney goes, yeah, we do this pro bono. And because they knew that this prosecutor was getting to the core of the truth. And that, I mean, you can look on the guy's face like, oh, fuck. And
so the prosecutor went pro bono because the defense was way too probing for the prosecution's own good.
But the thing is, it was no pro bono. And it was a lie big time because she didn't know about the Senate, the committee was going to go out and see her and have her testify. She didn't know that. Maybe she did or not. I don't know. And they said, well, she's afraid of flying. Motherfucker, she flew
wanted to go to Hawaii.
She flew across country. She flew across the pond to the country. I mean, she flies. She flies.
Yeah.
And that's lie number. That's another lie. And
that's something stupid to lie about too.
And found out that this big scoop that she's CIA. She teaches some psychology shit
at the very university
under the CIA control.
Yeah, I actually saw that earlier. Let me scroll back.
Her husband argued over a second door. Because she said, well, Kavanaugh made me claustrophobic. Oh, go fuck yourself.
Wow.
You were building a second door because you were housing Google interns. It wasn't that, oh, it made me claustrophobic. Oh, go fuck yourself. They got the second door because they were housing Google interns. Strangers in the house.
Yeah.
If she says that Kavanaugh and friend did this to her, and she housing strangers, Google interns and shit, that don't make sense. No, her grandfather was a CIA director. Her father was a CIA operative. Her brother and her dad worked for 3 front companies of the CIA. Her her brother worked with the sister-in-law of Peter Strozek, the lover of Carter Page, who was the FBI and shit before they were fired and shit, you know.
Oh, wow.
So there is a connection there. I mean, it's obviously that it was a plot since July. A plot since July. And it's no bullshit.
Yep.
Big time, pig time, no more or less, holy shit. And it is a big con job, a big railroad this job, and this guy was appointed by George W. Bush as a judge on the Court of Appeals, the second highest court in the country.
Yep.
With the Yale, with the Harvard, Christ's sakes. And I mean, the guy is being railroaded here, man. I mean,
Yeah. I found it. Senator Feinstein's husband, Richard Blum, has served the University of Palo Alto as a member of the University of California Board of Regents since 2002. Kind of ironic, professor at Palo Alto. Sorry, I skipped the line. Kind of ironic that Christine Blasey Ford is a psychology professor at Palo Alto. Always a connection.
the dots are already connected right that day.
Yeah.
And if you look at Lindsey Graham, he fucking blew him out of the water. You know, saying, look, this is nothing more than a damn con job here. You know, the Democrats on the left here in that committee, they knew what they were doing. They were trying to go after a guy with brown knuckles while wearing kid gloves when questioning Doc.
Yeah.
You know? It was like they had one hand, it was brown knuckles, the other hand, it was kid gloves.
Yep. Yeah, a lot's not adding up. So if it doesn't make sense,
So I
that's
mean,
not
it's
true.
like it's just that. You know, and then you got Jeff Flake, that fucker. You know, he caved in after two women in the elevator wasn't in the station shit. Went from a man to a pussy and shit. Like, dude, you're a senator. You're gonna let someone in your face? Come on, say something. Don't go deaf. Say something. You know, say at least something. Hey, look. I mean,
I tell him to sit the fuck down and talk like a regular human being or get the fuck out of this room.
yeah.
Yelling and forcing what you have to say down other people's throats and talking over other people is not
like,
going to fucking
to
win
them,
you a
to
fucking
them,
conviction.
oh hell yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
That's not
To
gonna.
them,
That's not how you prove
are
your point.
guilty. Oh hell yeah. To them, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, and that's not how our judicial system is supposed to work.
Oh no. No. I mean, the guy's already been confirmed as it is.
Yeah.
No, he's already confirmed as it is. But every victim will look at this like they're gonna wonder if she's telling the truth because if she's not, it would make the victims look bad. That are victims, that know when and where and who was involved, who did it, when, the date. She couldn't even say the time, the date, or month of the year.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
I mean, that is a problem, because victims of sex crimes, they know the date, the month.
Yeah, it's like forgetting your that's like saying you forgot your anniversary. Bullshit.
Oh, fuck yeah. Victims do need to be heard, but also people who are not victims just come out. I'm not gonna say, well, he's guilty, because unless there's evidence, which there is evidence, and other crimes, but the testing is backlogged for years. By the time when the woman that has been raped and whatnot, they go to the hospital, they do a kit, and that's backlogged for years. After a while, it's tainted. It's tainted.
Yeah.
And there's not enough to test, because these departments are backlogged or don't give a shit. No, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there has to be a testing right away. Test the stuff. Don't backlog it or absorb, because after a while, it's going to go bad. And it does piss me off, because these departments. This is why nobody trusts cops or law enforcement, because of this shit.
Yeah. I mean, how many rape kits go untested every year?
I mean, come on. If there's enough evidence, some physical evidence, like any genetic evidence, test it. Don't wait. Do it right away.
Yeah. That's your job, right?
I mean, if you don't, the crime because you're only allowed 8 to 10 years. The statute, and you have that amount of time to hopefully find some closure, find the person that did it to you, lock them up.
Yeah.
But you gotta test the evidence. You gotta test and get the genetic evidence, find out who this person is. I mean, half the time they're not done. They don't do it. They say, well, we're backlogged. Fuck you. Do the testing. Do the testing. You know, I mean, it is outright just insane.
Very much so.
I mean, I'm an uncle. I'm an uncle. I have a 13-year-old niece who's my goddaughter, and I worry about her big time. I mean, she's 13, just turned 13 this year, and you know, she's my parents' only granddaughter.
Yeah.
They got 3 grandsons and 1 granddaughter, and if anything ever happened to her like that, I would rage like the Hulk.
Yeah. Naturally.
Because that's my niece. That's my niece. And as an uncle, I would rage. Because, you know, I mean, no female, whether you're a pubescent, a teenager, or adult, you don't deserve to be harmed like that.
You don't deserve to be harmed at all.
male or female.
Yeah.
You ought
And
to be
yes, men can
heard.
be raped too.
You ought to be heard. And it is. I mean, this is the one thing. One here that really bugs me.
What's that?
The judge. I mean, this guy is getting straight. I mean, straight up. I mean, straight up. We all know he's getting railroaded by the Democratic side, and they know what they're doing is unethical. Especially Dianne Feinstein. You know, this lady's almost 90. I don't know why she shouldn't retire. She had a Chinese spy that worked for her for 20 years, a driver. And I mean, we all know she leaked this name, the letter to the media, to the press. And when she was running for governor, they had. This was a time when Japan was buying things here in California.
Yeah.
And Dianne Feinstein was running for governor of California, and they had this big old gathering for her and hosting Japanese representatives. And there's this one woman who released a video yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, that she was a host that was hosting a business guy, a Japanese businessman.
Huh.
And she had a picture of her and Dianne Feinstein together. There's a picture of her and Dianne Feinstein together in the early 90s when she was running for governor. And she had her own room, and this guy was hammered, and I mean, what he did, I mean, it was absolutely freaking insane.
Yeah.
She says that he pulled down her pantyhose, her panties, and did what he did, and then he landed on her thigh. And at the time, nobody knew that she was getting foreign donors in California.
Yeah.
For 20 years, she had a Chinese spy as her driver. Ain't that immature, Miss Feinstein?
Oh, yeah. She's always at the epicenter of a lot of this bullshit. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next load of bullshit.
Yes.
The Facebook bullshit.
Facebook privacy destruction.
Yeah, let's hear that.
Go ahead, lay that out.
Okay, Systrom and Krieger were two guys that founded and created Instagram. Okay. These guys were, I mean, brilliant creators of Instagram, and sold the company to Facebook for $1 billion, which was worth more, but got $1 billion out of it. So they worked for Facebook for a good 6 to 8 years. And after a while, they started to have doubts on Mark Zuckerberg over privacy, invasion type shit, political interference, and everything else. And they weren't the only two co-founders that resigned from Facebook over this shit. Co-founders of WhatsApp resigned. One of them resigned last year, the fall of last year, and one resigned this year.
So
because
this
they are
isn't some new
questioning
thing.
the
This is actually
they're
something that's been
questioning.
happening for a
Oh
while.
yeah, and so one of the co-founders of WhatsApp started to do some work for on the Signal project, which is another version of WhatsApp,
Really?
but yeah, and that was his project, his part project, and I mean, I mean, Facebook is a social media. I mean, you're a product of advertisers whose information they have of you. Um, I mean, like Google. Hey, these companies they know a lot about you, and they don't give
Oh
a
yeah.
shit because they will sell you like a $20 hooker to to a highest bidding advertiser for whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. They don't care.
Uh, oh yeah, and so they had it out like I can do this, I can do this. So they resigned the very same day, and they wished the company would better endeavors, and Instagram became Facebook's fastest growing company, fastest growing for teenagers and the ones that are delusional on the Facebook bullshit.
Yeah.
I got Instagram. I'm on it. I'm on Instagram, and I've been on it for a few years and whatnot. Hardly on it, but I've been on it quite a bit more than I am on Facebook. Um,
Wow.
and I mean, there's alternatives to Facebook, Minds, and Holness and MeWe. Alternatives to YouTube is BitChute. I like BitChute; it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But when you're running a multi-billion-dollar company, okay, you are to give a service to people that is on your platform that you're running. Now, here's a fact: Mark Zuckerberg is not a founder; he's a co-founder.
Yeah.
Um,
He's just the
him and
front
three
man.
other guys at Harvard founded Facebook, and if you've seen the movie Social Network, Mark Zuckerberg cut two of them all out of the loop. They sued, and one of them did stay behind and did some work on Facebook. Now, the character that was played by Justin Timberlake, he came in and really kind of pushed out the other co-founder, which he sued, which sued for a good took a change, $650 million
Oh
he got,
wow. Makes me wish I was a part of that
and
whole thing.
oh hell yeah, me too. And so the guy that came in left, resigned because Mark Zuckerberg had becoming too authoritarian and really losing his mind, and they're questioning his mental health thing on is he mentally capable of running Facebook?
I don't think so.
I
I think his
did a video on
wallet's
that
running Facebook.
question.
Actually,
Hmm?
I think his wallet's running Facebook. Actually.
I'm rarely on Facebook. I'm rarely on Facebook.
I think I find myself on Twitter more than I do on Facebook.
I do a lot of posting and sharing and stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm mainly on either Instagram or Tumblr or Hollandus or maybe or Minds or YouTube most of the damn time, but Facebook, no.
Yeah. Yeah, like I
Um,
mainly just use Facebook for email.
oh yeah.
That's
I mean,
mainly what I have it for.
we got two of the groups up on Facebook. We got the TWRN ALM Revolution
Yeah.
page. We got the Anonymous Liberty Media page and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
that's
we're gonna consolidate everything. I know I've been talking about doing that, and I keep saying I'm gonna get you the information, and I never do. That's my fuck up, dude. Just way too much going on in my fucking life. You know what? If I'm not fucking working, I'm looking for fucking work. It's been a nightmare, dude. Like I went back to this one factory I worked at for one night, dude. One fucking night, dude. And it about killed me. I just could not do it. I am not cut out for factory anymore.
oh dang.
Yeah, it was just way too much. But then again, you know, I'm pushing around 200-pound fucking 20-foot long wagons and putting out machine
Wow.
fires for 12 hours a fucking day. It's like, I got home, I couldn't even fucking walk. I hurt so bad. And it wasn't one of those, oh, you worked hard today, so your body's sore. You know, it's not that good kind of fucking sore. It's I think I have to go to the hospital.
Kind of sore.
Yeah, that's how it was. Like I couldn't move my legs. It hurt so fucking bad. I'm like, I think I gotta go to the hospital. So I dropped the contract with them. I'm like, I can't do that. I told the temp agency I went there, I'm like, you gotta find me something else. I can't do this factory shit.
Because that would definitely put a toll on your life, man. Physically.
Yeah, well that and there were many other factors along with the factory itself. The factory was just in terrible condition. I mean, the roof was leaking, covered in mold. I mean, I'm breathing that shit in all fucking night. You want me there killing myself for 12 hours a day to literally kill myself. What the actual fuck? Like, I need something better.
You want to get a job where it's not a health hazard. You know,
Yeah,
you're breathing in all that mold, which is kind of like close to that what's it called, mesothelioma type
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I'm not about that shit. I'm not doing that shit.
There's veterans of World War II that are and and I mean the war on these ships they suffered from
Asbestos exposure.
mesothelioma. Yeah, mesothelioma.
Yeah,
I mean, you could be doing carpentry and shit. I mean, areas certain areas in the carpentry business or something like that. Insulation, you know.
yeah. I'm wondering if maybe that's what got me sick. Like, I didn't
Oh
start
yeah,
feeling this
man. I
way until
mean,
after I did that job on Tuesday.
oh brother, I pray for you, man. I pray for you, brother.
Yeah, well, I ain't doing factory shit no more. I can't do it. It's just too much. Unless they're gonna give me a supervisor position, I can't do it.
Cool. Have you thought about doing that wrestling thing again?
But what?
Being a camera guy for wrestling again?
Yeah, but even that doesn't really pay that well. Probably like $5 a show. That's not a living,
Dang.
dude.
Do they have that out there where you're at?
Yeah, they have it where I'm at. I haven't really looked into any of the feds, but I do know that they have it out here. I know several people who have been in and out of it. I mean, if I were a camera guy for like a major fed like WWE or something, that had fucking money to fucking spend, then yeah, I'd fucking do that shit. But I the indie shit, there's no money to be made in the indies, dude.
No, you don't get paid very much. I mean, as a wrestler, how much do you get paid?
At, in the indies,
Yeah, as a wrestler.
it depends on the talent and it depends on how big the venue is. Like, there have been some venues that I've worked where I've made some pretty good money. Like, I made like $80 a show. And there's other venues
Wow.
where I've only made like $5 a show as a cameraman. And there's venues that'll pay you several $100s if you're a mainline talent. Other talents, other venues, they'll pay you like maybe $20 if you're lucky. It really depends on your established talent as a wrestler and the venues that you work. How big the venues are, how big the promotion is, and just how much money the promoters are willing to fork out.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of variables. But like WWE, they'll fork out money. They got money to fork out.
I heard that they bought USA.
I don't know about that, but like I was saying, I do know that they have money to fucking spend because I know one guy that I used to work with. I'm not gonna say his name or what he did for the WWE, but because the whole fucking talk about the behind the scenes shit because it's like working at Disneyland. You don't want to fucking destroy the illusion. It's a show. You don't want to fucking destroy the illusion of the show.
No.
No, so I'm not going to
You
go
want
into details about that, but I will say that a buddy of mine who I worked with in pro wrestling wound up getting paid $400 by WWE for 5 minutes of work.
Oh shit.
Yeah, $400 for 5 minutes of his time.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Wow. I could shit.
yeah.
Wow. Do you think that they would make a third brand or at least have four brands? I mean, bring back WCW and ECW as four brands?
Possibly, but I doubt it. I mean, it really depends on what the company wants to do and depending on where things go in that type of business.
I mean, they could at least bring back WCW and stuff like that, and ECW as two front companies, kind of like TNA.
Yeah. Well, like TNA, that's a Kickstarter for their talent to see how they do.
I was shocked when Paige had a 60 belt. Shit. I'm like,
Oh shit! You have
she,
you have a lot of fucking wrestling talent that have done porn. I mean, China's done porn, Sable's done porn.
oh yeah, so that,
Uh, shit, there's a lot of WWE talent especially that has done porn.
Or had their stuff leaked out, like Charlotte Flair. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That woman is stacked.
Oh yeah, I mean even Sunny has done porn recently.
She did. She did it for what I know. She did about 3 videos. Two where she's getting kind of happy, and then one where she's doing a full masturbation practice. And it's not too bad, really. Not too bad.
Huh.
And stuff. So
Yeah.
she sold her Hall of Fame ring.
Wow. Must be doing pretty desperate.
Oh yeah, shit. I mean, I've been a fan of wrestling since I was a kid. I mean, for as long as I can remember. I remember the Moondog, man. Shit.
Yeah, it's a fun business. It can be a very fun business.
I mean, one thing is that the WWE has veterans sign a Legends contract where you appear at either Raw or SmackDown's when there's like a special we call it special it's an event,
Yeah.
a special event, and you would see different people come out from the past and whatnot,
Oh yeah.
come out and just. So I mean, the times like that. The one, the name that made me laugh, Bastion Booger.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck? What the hell?
Oh yeah.
Shit. I mean, I mean, and then you have one guy who's a plumber, a wrestler. That's a plumber.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have your gimmicks.
A trash guy. Oh man, fuck. I like that Duke the Dumpster. Call it Duke the Dumpster Drosy. He had that one finisher that was really badass.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got to bring a lot to the table in that business, but it is very fun if you wind up in it. It can be very fun. I might
Oh
go
yeah,
back to it if I can make some decent money at it.
oh yeah.
Make some corn on the cob if you want.
Okay.
In the meantime, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this roundtable. Go ahead
Yeah.
and get it
Let's
edited and uploaded today. So,
let's put the bird in the oven.
yep. So this is Tim Man with the Resistance. Thank you, Grandmaster Evan. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance.
Anytime, brother. Anytime, man.
Latest.